very good morning to all my dear students. Students, in the previous tutorial, we were studying about the tribal revolts. Now, we will continue some more tribal revolts in this tutorial. So, let's study the chapter. Now, we will study a rebellion that is Santhal rebellion. What is Santhal? Santhal, it is the largest tribal group of people in the Jharkhand state of India, and these tribal groups are also found in the states of Assam, Tripura, Bihar, Odisha and West Bengal. So what is Santhal? Largest tribal group. So they also started a revolt against Britishers. So let's study. The Santhal rebellion started in 1855 to 56 in the Chota Nagpur area near Bengal. So you know Chota Nagpur plateau, and it is in Jharkhand, and it occupies many areas of Odisha, West Bengal. This rebellion started to fight against the British officials, zamindars and the Mahajans. So they started a fight against whom? The British officials, zamindars and Mahajans. The Sidhu and Kahnu brothers disrupted railway communication between Bhagalpur and Rajmahal. Who were Sidhu and Kahnu brothers? They were the two rebel leaders. Yes, they were the two rebel leaders of Santhal. So what they have done, they distracted railway communication. You know that who known as the father of Indian railways? It is Lord Dalhousie. He introduced the first train from Bombay to Thane in India. So Lord Dalhousie was known as the father of Indian railways. So what they have done, they have distracted the railway communication between Bhagalpur and Rajmahal. Bhagalpur in Bihar and Rajmahal in Jharkhand. Why? Because it was a revolt, which means they started a revolt against the Britishers, and they started distracting the railway communication. Railway communication means the network between trains and control centers to communicate each other. They started distracting them. They were in total command. They carried with swords and poisoned arrows and started attacking Europeans and Bengalis and killed many English railway servants and police officers. So what they have done? They have attacked many Europeans, English railway servants also, and police officers also. The authorities were taken aback at this attack. Thousands of people fled and took shelter in thick forests. But Britishers, they get aware of this type. They got aware of this attack, and many of the people, in order to save their life, they moved towards the forest, thick forest. Thick forest war continued vigorously with the British forces by 1856. But then also Britishers, they did not stop, and the war was continued from the thick forest with the British forces. The British were forced to mount a constant military raids against them. The most inhuman barbarities were unleashed upon them by the British. Means, again, the British were forced to mount a constant military raids against them, means that the Britishers, they did not stop, and they continuously sending a military raids against them. Military means a rail with full of soldiers, means soldiers, British soldiers were there, and they keep on attacking on the Santhals. The most inhuman barbarities means what? Extremely cruel or violent behavior was done by the Britishers, which were very affected, which greatly affected the people, which greatly affected their emotions. So who had done this inhuman barbarities? A violent behavior by the Britishers on the tribal people. Now we will study about Birsa Munda. Who was Birsa Munda? he was an Indian tribal freedom fighter. As you know, there are many freedom fighters who fought for the freedom of our country. So in order to free the tribal people from the Britishers, this Birsa Munda played a very important role. So he was an Indian tribal freedom fighter. You can say he was a religious hero also. He was a folk hero also. And he belonged to which tribe? To the Munda tribe. Munda is a name of a tribe. The Mundas named Horoko are the main tribe of India living in the Chota Nagpur Plateau region in Jharkhand. They did sedentary cultivation. So what is sedentary cultivation? It is a type of agriculture in which same crops are grown year after year and on the same piece of land. That is called a sedentary cultivation. Tribal revolts continued even after the revolt of 1857, especially by Birsa Munda. You know 1857, it is a revolt. Yes, first war of independence. Revolt of 1857. So, this tribal revolt, it continued after 1857 also, and he joined the German mission but reverted to the original Munda faith of his ancestor. Earlier he was in joined the German mission, but he reverted back, means but afterwards he joined back his own Munda tribal group. A great freedom fighter, Birsa saw the unjust behavior done with their fellow tribals. He organized a group against the non-tribals and then the Britishers to grab the land of his fellow tribals. So, what he had done, he saw the unjust behavior and he organized groups against the non-tribal people and the Britishers to grab the land of his fellow tribal, to take the land of his fellow tribals which were taken forcibly by the Britishers and by the non-tribal group people. He started movement in order to prevent his fellow tribals from becoming bonded laborers and to check exploitation of their wealth. So not only this, but he started movement also, so that to make his fellow tribals free from the bonded laborers, means from the slave laborers. Bonded here means slave, and to check that their wealth should not be exploited by the Britishers. He motivated tribals to adhere to their rich culture and rituals. He asked them not to budge under any pressure, and he motivated his tribal group people that you should not move. Budge means that you should not move under any pressure of the Britishers. Means you have to raise your voice against the Britishers. You don't have to be crushed in their hands. Birsa was a visionary who sowed the seeds of revolution among the tribals. Visionary means that he was a man with a great plans for the future. So visionary means having great plans for the future, and he was only the person who sowed the seed of revolution among the tribals, which gave rise to tribal movement across the tribal regions of the country. And what happened, many tribal groups, they joined together and they started a revolt against the Britishers, and the credit goes to Birsa Munda, who sowed the seeds of revolution among the tribal group people against the Britishers. His movement was intensively against the zamindars and other many lenders who were indulging in all sorts of exploitation to grab the land and wealth of tribals in order to make them bonded labor. So, his revolution was against the zamindars, money lenders, who were very forcefully taking the wealth and land of his tribal group people. He asked his fellow tribals to raise voice against the imperial system and establish their own rule. His movement brought lots of tribals together and helped them in gaining their right on forest land, which had been used and tilled by their ancestors since ancient time. So, what was the profit through this revolution get to the tribal people? that through this movement many of the tribal people now they get their rights on the forest, their forest ancestors forest. Yes, now they started using their forest also, their forest land also, which were used by their ancestors. At a time when there was a terror of the British regime, he organized protest marches and agitations for the remission of forest dues. So, regime means when there was a terror, means when there was a terror of British regime government. So, what he had done, he also raised many violent actions that all the forest dues should be finished. During his short life, he did lots of work for tribal. So, for though his life was very short, but he spent all his life for his tribal group people, for their freedom. He died very early at the age of 25 years, but his deeds and agitations shattered the roots of the Britishers. Shattered the roots of Britishers means that it upset the roots of the Britishers. His movement forced the colonial government for the promulgations of the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act 1908. So see how brave he was, how brave his movement was, that it shattered, it disturbed the British roots in India, and new laws were formulated in the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908. This act was the outcome of his dedicated struggle against the discrimination experienced by the tribals. So, in this Tenancy Act, many rules and regulations were laid in favor of the tribal group peoples. And this was done only because of the Birsa Munda, because of his great efforts. To consider his great contribution in the struggle of freedom, he is called Dharti Abba. So, what he is called Dharti Abba because of his great contribution. The Government of India has dedicated a statue in his memory in the premises of Parliament. So, in the premises of Parliament also we can see the statue of Birsa Munda, which has been dedicated in his memory. He also enacted relevant laws and implemented policy in the interest of the tribals. As you know that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who also fought for the as you know Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, yes, who also fought for the rights of the Dalits. Yes, so in the same way, this Birsa Munda, he also fought for the rights of the tribal people. In addition to this, there are several prominent education institutes functioning across the country in his name. So not only the statue is there, but many educational institutions are also there in different across the country, which is running in his name. We salute this great son of our motherland for his selfless sacrifice for their countrymen. So students, today we have studied about Birsa Munda, who was a great freedom fighter who sacrificed his life also for his tribal fellow people. So students, now what is your homework? Read the chapter very carefully and meet you in the next tutorial. Till then, have a good day.